Hi everyone, this is Carol Keller. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Illinois in the United States, and I'm here for what was supposed to be my usual Tuesday afternoon live, but I cannot get the go live button to work. I can set everything up and reverse my screen, and for some reason the go live button is just not working. I have turned my phone off and on, gotten out of Facebook and gotten back in, nothing's working. So I'm gonna make a video so you can at least see my card for today. So I do apologize for that. Today we are casing the catalog. Here is the latest mini catalog. And I am on page 38, but actually I'm gonna show you this beautiful sweet Winter Meadow. Look at all these wonderful cards. It was hard to choose which one I wanted to do, to be honest. But I ended up choosing this one because I thought the color palette was just so pretty. Here is the stamp set. And I like it because it's not necessarily Christmas or holiday specific. It is winter specific. May the season of sparkle bring joy and delight. Winter wishes, the colder weather brings us together, which is what it says on this. And I actually use winter wishes for the inside. So I'm going to bring in the card so that you can see what I did compared to what it looks like there. How about that? I think it's pretty close. And I am going to move the catalog out of the way now. And we're going to get started with the card. So I started with a basic white card base. And we're going to make sure that's nice and flat. Use my bone folder. I'm going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue right away. And there's some beautiful designer series paper in the suite. It is called Winter Meadow. Yep, I think that's what it says. I'm reading it upside down. And I've cut it to the size of the card front, so 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. And I'm going to put that right on with my multi-purpose liquid glue. And then we're going to set it aside to dry. Hope everyone is doing well today. It was pretty gloomy and rainy, but now the sun has been sort of trying to come out. And this is directional. Excuse me. So make sure you put it on right side up because I almost goofed that up. And it is needing to be moved. It's catching right away here. I think it's because it's so humid and I've got the windows open now. Let's see. We can reposition this because it's wanting to dry already. We might have to do a little redo. Oh, don't tell anyone. See, good thing nobody sees that. But I know I can fix it as soon as I get the glue off my fingers. I'm telling you, everything is going wrong today because, like I said, I could not get that go live button to work. So we're going to put some more glue. And no one is going to be the wiser. Trust me. That's one thing I know, is that there's usually a way to fix a mistake. So we're going to try this again and hope to line it up a little better right from the get-go. Yep. And then we'll flatten it out so no one will be the wiser. Don't tell anyone. And we'll set that aside to dry. See, now I got glue all over me. Those of you who know me know I'm not fond of the glue. And that is why. But when you are working with something with designer series paper that's the same size as the card front, it really is a necessity. All right, so next I have a piece of Moody Mauve cardstock, and I have cut that at 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches, and that's going to go here, so we'll put that aside too. And then I've got a piece of basic white, and this is 2 1/4 inches by 4 1/2, because that's the way it's going to lay on the card. It's a little bit taller and a little bit thinner than what's behind it. And I'm going to bring in a scrap so that we can do some stamping. Yep, I still have glue everywhere. And for this technique, we're going to do some stamping off, but we're going to be efficient with how we do it, and I'll show you what I mean. Because I have another scrap here too, and this is to stamp the images that are going to be cut out. So I am going to start with the Moody Mauve. and one of the stamps from the set. And it's distinctive, so you really want to be careful not to over ink. I did that the first time, and then when you do that, you lose all the detail on it if you have it too inked. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to stamp it right here, because we're going to cut that out. And then I'm going to stamp the image again over here like this, stamping off of the cardstock, because that's what they did in the one that's in the catalog. And then actually, while I have it out, I'm going to grab the envelope and we're going to stamp it on the front. Let's make sure that is the front. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside of the cards. Let me bring that in to all of our Moody Mauve stamping at once. And you can see the card is a little bit, or maybe you can't see, but it's a tiny bit, you can tell that it's been messed with, let's say. It's a tiny bit mushed in the corner. I don't know what the right word is, but I think it's going to be fine. So we're going to go with that. And then while we've got the inside, I'm going to bring in Misty Moonlight and we'll get that finished. So for the inside sentiment, like I said, I just used Winter Wishes. You could use Happy Birthday. I like that the outside, the colder weather brings us together. I think you could use it for thinking of you or birthday. And in this case, we're just going to use a stamp from the set, and that's Winter Wishes. So that is done. Stick that back there. And while we have the Misty Moonlight, we've got a couple of things to do. So we're going to bring in another stamp from the set and ink it up. And then this one we're going to cut out. So using it kind of straight, full strength, we're going to cut that out. I'm going to stamp it right here. And then, and that is the way it's supposed to be, because again, it's distinctive, so it's got shading of color. And then I'm going to bring it back to here and stamp up here like this without re-inking, because again, we're stamping off. And then while we've got that, what's it called? Misty Moonlight, that's what it's called. We're going to bring in another stamp. And this one, we don't need the whole thing. We just need a little piece of it down here. So I'm going to stamp it like this. But I still want to stamp off with the whole thing, because then we're going to bring it here. And that's what you see up here. We're going to stamp it, I think, like this. And so then that takes care of our Misty Moonlight. And then last but not least, we've got Shaded Spruce. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, I need that Misty Moonlight one more time. I need it for the sentiment on top. So I am going to do that. I didn't want to do it first because I wanted to see kind of where the leaves were getting positioned. So now I'm going to bring in the sentiment for the top. And we'll do it about here. And now we're done with the Misty Moonlight. So we're going to bring in that Shaded Spruce. And it's a very long stamp, and I've been using my block, so you can see it doesn't fit, but we only need the top part, so it's not going to matter. I'm going to ink it up. Say that's pretty good. And we are going to stamp off again before we stamp on the project. And then this is going to go in here like this. And I believe that is all of our stamping. So we're gonna pull these out of the way. And of course I have cut these out already. So let me bring those in. And you can see for this one, I didn't even ink up the whole stamp because I knew I wouldn't need it. And I cut that out with the dies that go with the stamp set, the coordinating dies. And it's easiest if you put these on here before you put this here. And I'll show you why. So I'm going to use my glue dots for that. And we're going to put this here, about like that. And then I'm going to take my snips and just cut it off. So obviously it's easier to do this. Whoops, it just moved on me. It's easier to do this before you obviously attach it to that other, whoops, the other piece of cardstock. So there's one. And then the second one is going to go up in here, maybe about like that. So same thing, I'm going to put a few glue dots on the back. Not sure how far down it's going to go, but I just want to make sure it's going to hold there. And I do want that green to show a little bit on both sides, so we'll do it about like that. And the same thing, snip the back off. This time it's going to be this way and this way. And then last but not least, this one. So same thing, I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on. You could actually put these on with dimensionals. It said they use dimensionals, and I used them to put this piece on, but you could use them for this either instead or in addition to doing that. But I think just the fact that it's cut out gives it dimension. Maybe we'll move that in just a little bit. Let's see if we can. If we're very careful, yes. Oh, I've got ink on me too. And then same thing, trim up the back. And now we're going to put these two together. So I'm going to take my seal and just not go all the way to the top because it's going to overhang that other piece, that Misty Moonlight piece, or I mean that Moody Mauve piece. So I'm going to use this to line it up, my grid paper, about like this. Let's see, I'm turning it, so I'm making it crooked on myself. That's not good. Let's try that again. My fingers are wanting to get in the way. I think that's pretty good though. Yep, that's good. And now I'm going to use my foam adhesive strips. You could use your dimensionals, but I'm going to use my foam adhesive strips because this is such a big section and so long, and I really like using these. So I'm going to grab one and we'll put it here and snip it. I'm going to use my scissors that I dedicate to sticky stuff. And probably save, well, maybe I'll save it for another project. I'm going to grab a full one again. And then one more. And so the nice thing about these is that it's much quicker to pull the paper off because you just have 4 strips. And off it comes. They're all falling out of my hand, but that's okay. And then on the card, just like this. Last but not least, of course, we need our bling. So these are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack, and they just used the clear ones, or they're a little bit opaque, and I'm trying to remember, they kind of put them, well, I think I'm going to do what I did here, put one up here, and they had one that was sort of hiding in here, and then I may put another glue dot there. I am going to put another glue dot to anchor that down, and then maybe one here this time, or let's see, maybe up here. I guess we will leave it up there, but more toward where the flowers and leaves are. And so that is it. That is the card, cased from the catalog, like I said, which I love to do. let me quickly show you. Move that here. That here is again the stamp set and the dies. So you get two layers of them, and these are the outline dies that I use to cut out what I stamped for the card. But then there are some that you can cut out that there isn't a stamp for. So lots of ideas there. And then I have to show you, of course, that beautiful designer series paper, which is again called Winter Meadow. So here are the wonderful designs. I've used this a couple times already. And then this one, I don't even have a full sheet because I've been using it. And then of course, the designs on the other side. Coordinating colors. Beautiful. I really, really love the color palette. So I guess if you wanted to, you could have used this paper for this part. And that's what at first I thought they did, but they're just showing you basically how to make this paper when it runs out. So I think that's a great idea. I like making my own DSP, and that is a way to do it. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I do have classes coming up tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon, where we're going to make 3 cards using the colorful technique and the triple time technique, I think it's called. We're going to make 3 cards. It's not too late to sign up because I've been prepping the cards and I did make a few extras. So if you're interested, let me know. I will post pictures of the cards tonight, or at least of the original ones. One's going to be the same, and and then both of them I guess are going to be the same, but then there'll be a third one that uses different designer series paper. So look for that post tonight. And we also have our online retreat going on World Card Making Day, which is, well, it's actually Friday, October 6th in the evening, and then the morning of October 7th, which is technically World Card Making Day. It's not too late to sign up for that either. So if you are interested in that, reach out and post in the comments, and then I will send you the registration form. So, and if you're interested in the class, also you can reach out in the comments, or you can PM me or email me, whatever works for you. But again, thanks for joining me, and thanks for putting up with the not being live. I'm not really sure what was going on with Facebook, but at least I'll be able to post this. All right, take care, everyone. Happy stamping.